Tashidil, all of you. It is a great joy for me to be here. And this center, a Sergei Monastery Center, as most of you must be already aware of what the Sergei Monastery is. And the others, should they be newcomers, more new to the center, Sergei Monastery is one of the biggest monastic universities, Tibetan monastic universities in India, and which has about the 4,000 the proper enrollment and actively studying there, 4,000 monks, monk scholars. We see that it becomes like Mount Everest from which the rivers flow. All the rivers, they have the source in Mount Everest. Likewise, all the scholars and the Dharma, the genuine Nalanda tradition which is Holiness the Dalai Lama, the advocates in the world. So there, what we are getting elsewhere in the world. So we see that as of now, the source is mainly the Ganden Monastery, Sera Monastery, and Debu Monastery. And Sera Monastery is one of the biggest of the three. Sera Monastery, and from within Sera is a very big monastic institution. So we also see that such monastic institutions academically so rich and practice. We see in the other traditions as well, Sakya, Kaki, Nyingma, and all traditions. So that way we see that within the monasteries, there are different kinds. One which emphasizes on the rituals, and the other which emphasizes on the academic studies and the practice. So Sergei is one of the most important monastic universities there. And and coming here to Singapore, one thing which I feel so happy about is how the TBC, Tibetan Buddhist Center in Singapore, how it is trying to reach out to all the centers. And seeing TBC and Sergei Monastery, the Monastery Center, two of them very close, it is extremely heartwarming. And likewise, the link to the other centers as well. So with this, I'm extremely grateful to Sergei Monastery, the two venerables here, and then Lenala and Quan Hui, and all the volunteers and the participants, the members. It is always very happy to see all of you here, and those who are coming here for this talk as well. It's always my joy to be with you. So with this, you must have already known that there are two sessions happening. The first session is going to be on emptiness, and the second session is going to be on very briefly on bodhicitta. So that way we will have the two wings for enlightenment, the wisdom and the compassion. So with this in mind, first what we'll do is that we will do the recitation of the refuge and bodhicitta, followed by a little bit of meditation, single-thoughted meditation, and then we'll do the main the talk. Okay, so for that matter, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened beings in front of us. And visualize your two parents on your two sides, and all the family members, including your children, around you, and all dear mother sentient beings of Singapore, of Asia, of the world, and of the entire universe. The human beings, the gods and goddesses, animals, the insects, the hungry ghost beings, health beings, all, leaving none aside. With this in mind, let us make a commitment that we will take part in this 2-session program to activate the seed of Buddhahood within myself, the seed of perfection within myself. Okay, with this in mind, let's say this together. Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamda Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyatsu Je Tage Jinso Gebe Sonam Dola Benjire Sanje Jubare Sho Sanje Joda Zoge Jonamda Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyatsu Je Tage Jinso Gebe Sonam Dola Benjire Sanje Jubare Sho Sanje Choda Soge Chonam Sanjo Bado Dane Gyazo Je Dage Jinso Kibe Sonam Ki Dola Benjire Sanje Jubare Sho Sanje Choda Soge Chonam La Chanjo Bado Dane Gyazo Je Dage Jinso Kibe Sonam Ki Dola Benjire Sanje Jubare Sho. Okay, some of you know the mantra, Ye Dharma Hetur Prabhava mantra. We will say this together with the tune. And those of us who know this, you will join me. And those of us who do not know this, and if you have the mantra with you, you can look at it and join with me as you become a little familiar. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Svaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Svaha. Om Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Next we'll recite the Heart Sutra mantra 7 times with the tune. So that is all of us should be familiar with this, with the tune, and join us as we become a little familiar with this. You join us. And this Heart Sutra mantra, which is so precious, so precious. Imagine that Buddha Shakyamuni, there in Rajgir. Some of you have been there, Rajgir. Then imagine the Buddha Shakyamuni is inspiring you thus. Don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come towards the ultimate happiness. And you hearing this melodious voice of Buddha Shakyamuni, then you inspire your 2 parents, all of family members, including children, and everyone, all dear sentient beings in this universe, informing them, look, this is what a compassionate teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, is exhorting us thus. Let us not remain in the fears of samsara. Let us all go towards the ultimate happiness by discovering ultimate treasure within us, that exists within us. Through cleansing the mental defilements, and the treasure, the diamond Buddha nature within us becomes manifest, unraveled fully. With this mind, let us recite this. So this is undertaking the journey of the mind, of cleansing the mind to discover ultimate treasure within yourself. so that at least you are not going to be affected by any external factors anymore. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisvaha Tyata 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 Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisvaha. Okay, we're going to do a quick meditation, which is single point meditation. In the first place, the meditation. What exactly does meditation? Meditation is habituating. It's a habituating a virtuous mind. Habituating a virtuous mind. This is known as meditation. It's like making a habituation of the acclimatizing yourself in virtue, and then making the virtues more spontaneous. So that is what is meant by meditation. So meditation, there are two kinds: single-pointed meditation and analytical meditation too. So to make it very quick, finally, what we're going to learn here, particularly session 1, is to say to remove the metal stains. We already have the Buddha nature within us. We already have, each one of us. It doesn't matter whether you're a believer or non-believer, whether you're Buddhist, non-Buddhist. It doesn't matter whether you're male, female, whether you're educated, uneducated, whether you are, say, the from this place or that place. It doesn't matter. As long as we have a mind, we all have the capacity. We all have this treasure within us, like a diamond within us, each one of us. So this is so precious. This is so precious. It is because of the presence of this that each one of us becomes so special and so important. So with this, the point is that the diamond is here within us. Do you think it's too loud? Is okay or too loud? Okay. We can make it a little less sound. It's too loud. Good. Okay. So how many of you say good resonance? It's very good. No loud. Okay, how many say it's little loud? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, maybe make it 75% down. Not 50%, 75%. Because we can see the balance, 25 versus 75. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Now 75? Or still? Okay, still less. Still less. Can you hear me now? Those at the back, can you hear me? Good. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so with this, the meditation, there are two kinds: single-pointed meditation and analytical meditation. Okay. Finally, what the Buddha finally said from the mantra which we recited, Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Deshan Tathagato Hyavata Desham Jayo Niruddha Evam Vadima Shamaneswa. From this mantra, what we learned is that all our problems, they have a cause. And the Buddha indicated what this cause is what the Buddha Shakyamuni indicated as the ignorance within us. Our ignorance is responsible for that. So this ignorance, to eliminate ignorance by the very definition is like a darkness. Ignorance by the very definition is the mind which blinds us from from having the vision of the reality. Which blinds us from having the vision of the reality. So which means that you're blinded of seeing the reality. You don't know what the reality is. Because you don't see the reality, it is like being dark. So ignorance is given the analogy of darkness. In dark, you don't see what the reality is. With ignorance, you don't see the reality. So now, just as it is through introducing the light that the darkness can be eliminated, it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eliminated. So the wisdom plays a very important role in Buddhism. It is for this reason that in the teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni, there's a tremendous emphasis on the wisdom. Even if you are to follow tantric practice, whether it's Dzogchen, Mahamudra, the Setong Sungcho, or the Nyingma Tenshi Gyebe say, so whichever tradition that you follow, Sakya, Kagyu, Nyingma, Gedo, or say the Chinese Mani tradition, Theravada tradition, in all these things, without the understanding of emptiness, without the understanding of anatta, emptiness, the anatma, there's no way by which you will get to the total freedom which everybody is seeking. So it is for this reason that the Buddha emphasizes so much on emptiness, the wisdom of emptiness. Now, the wisdom of emptiness is what I said, as the light. As light. We need to illuminate this light. And this light, which we're going to use to dispel the darkness, this light should have two characteristics. This light should have two characteristics. One, this light should have two characteristics. One, that the light should be very bright. Do you agree with me? That light that you're going to use for you to read books, that light must be very bright. How many of you agree with me? Raise your hands. During your school days, particularly if there's a power cut for some reasons, then you have to light a candle, and if the candle is very feeble, right? Does it help you to read books? No. There's so much eye strain happening, right? So we need to have the light very bright. Now say that we have a very bright light, very bright candle. From somewhere at the corner of your house, there's a wind blowing, and the light is flickery. The light is flickery. Again, does it help for you to read books? Does it help? Oh, it's very disturbing. So the light should be very bright, not feeble. While being very bright, it should be very steady and stable. How many of you agree with me? Okay, we all agree with this, right? So maybe the younger ones, age 20 below, they may not have any idea, right, about what is candle, right? Because the development everywhere in the world, right? Okay. So that way, the light should have two characteristics. Just as the light to be used for us to read books, it should have two characteristics. What are they? The brightness and the steadiness. Likewise, the light of the wisdom which we are to ignite within the mind must have these two qualities. One is that it should be so bright, and that it should be very steady. So the brightness of the wisdom will be given to you by the analytical meditation. Meditation which involves analysis, where your mind is going to be activated so often. In fact, what I would suggest is that for all of us here, at the, say, when you grow older, including myself, not only you, right? It's not that you're going to grow old, I'm going to remain young all the time. We're all same. So how many of us here, as we grow older, we don't want to suffer dementia? Raise your hands. Okay. If you are very serious with this, I would suggest you to make sure that you study emptiness. Study emptiness. Believe it or not, your mind, your brain will be activated in a very different way that even if you want to suffer dementia, it will not happen. Right? As you grow older, this is amazing. You wouldn't believe. In the monastic universities, where the monks who are, say, the academically very active and meditating on emptiness, they reach age 80, 90, 95, 100. You don't see these monks suffering dementia. You're getting it? So therefore, this is an incredible healing, incredible panacea for our healing of such problems, to stop us from such potential problems in the future. So which is known as analytical meditation. For one, and it may be little, say, the humorous, at the same time, I'm very serious, half joke, half serious. That we have study emptiness, guaranteed. Study, reflect on emptiness. It has so many benefits, right? Making your mind very sharp and stopping you from dementia in the future. And then, say, should any problems arise in your mind, in your life, the tragedies, and the feeling low, going through low phase of your life. So there, you just meditate emptiness, it will instantly uplift you. And you see, you become such a fearless person. It's amazing, right? This is so precious. So what about when the request came, through TBC, the Wayne Lau was communicating with me, and then he put the topic of the class here, and the staircase to emptiness, right? Staircase to emptiness, and I would say that we can get this. This is actually more like the compilation, or more like my own writing on emptiness, very short one. You can read this, and you can design your practice on the basis of this. Okay, but what I'm going to do here is, of course, on emptiness, but the same, a little in relation to something more scriptural with the text. Okay, so with this, there are two meditations: analytical meditation and single-pointed meditation. Analytical meditation is to ignite the brightness of the light, to give the brightness of the light. And the single-pointed meditation, which we're going to do now, this is to create the stability of the mind, to stabilize this wisdom. Okay, so with this, for the single-pointed meditation, so when I look at your face, I see that many of you are familiar. So those I'm already familiar with many of you. Those who have been doing your practices, just in few minutes, you can start a practice. Those who are not really familiar with any form of meditation, It doesn't matter. I will just give the instruction, quick instruction. By the way, just raise your hands, those who are not at all exposed to any kind of meditation thus far. Just raise hands. Okay. And those who are already introduced to some form of meditation, raise your hands. Okay, good. So those who are already introduced to meditation, if you listen to those who are not introduced to meditation, it is best to follow this instruction. And those who are already introduced to meditation, it is also good to follow this instruction. Okay. So why I'm saying this is that those who are already into meditation, right? Sometimes they are not going through the proper instructions, right? And very strange experiences. They share some very strange experiences, which is so funny sometimes. There was one gentleman who met me, and he said that actually it's so good to do meditation. And then I said, yes, of course. And he said, I've been doing meditation for the last 3 years. So I respected him. 3 years is a lot. I respected him. And then I didn't ask him what kind of meditation are you doing and so forth. Suddenly he said that nowadays in my meditation, buildings are coming up. In meditation, what kind of meditation you are doing? Then I asked him. Then he said, I just sit like this, close my eyes like this. So earlier, the other things are happening, lights are coming like this. Nowadays, buildings are coming up. Then I told him, don't do such meditations. Don't do such things. And who taught you this meditation? He said, no one. Then how did you start to do this? He said that I went to a trekking in Himalaya, trekking. So there he met some American, excursion people, adventurers. Then one American guy told him that it is good to meditate. And then the moment he heard it, then he said by himself like this, and then close the eyes and do meditation. This is how he did for the last 3 years. I said, don't do this. It is destroying yourself. So therefore, even those of us here doing the meditation, I would suggest that you follow these instructions, just listen to the instructions, and where I'm emphasizing, you must emphasize there too. Okay, for the meditation, there are 4 things to keep in mind. The body posture, number 1. Number 2, the focal point. We're going to meditate on focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Identifying the errors. What are the mistakes of meditation? Identify the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, let me say these 4 again. 1 is body posture. Number 2, focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. These 2 points. This is so important. Where people go wrong, whatever tradition that you're following, whether Tibetan tradition, Chinese tradition, Theravada tradition, or whether Sakyaka, Gyingma, Gedo, it doesn't matter. Many people, they really fall short of to be careful with the point number 3 and point number 4. When you go wrong with these 2 points, no point. It is better you stop meditation than continuing in a faulty way. Right? Okay, so the 4 points, not a miss. First point, identify what's the first point? Body posture. Body posture, say if you can sit cross-legged, meaning that say your left foot on your right leg and the right foot on your left leg. Right? Where the position of the Buddha? Yeah, Buddha's position, right? But this is not mandatory. If you want to do it, if you want to do the practice on a daily basis, then I would say make it more, say, a part of your posture. Whereas if you don't do it too regularly, then it should not be a major thing. The benefit is that if you sit cross-legged, this proper cross-legged, then automatically it will contribute greatly to keep your mind very alert. 1. The next point is the body. This is very important. Body upright. Body must be upright. body must be upright. This is so important, right? So oftentimes people sit like this. Just look at me. People sit like this, right? This is a very bad posture. Always try to sit like this. Even though you're not meditating, it's fine, you can sit like this. And then when you're not meditating, if you want to lean against a wall or support, you can lean, but keep your body straight. This is very important. Whereas doing the meditation, don't lean against a support unless you have a backache problem, right? You don't lean against a support. The moment you lean against the support, your mind becomes a little heavy, right? Whereas you keep your body upright, the mind becomes fresh. This is the difference, and you will see as you start to do the meditation for an extended period of time. Okay, the body upright. Keep your body upright. Body must be flexible. It should not be rigid. It should be flexible. This is so important. Oftentimes, as beginners, what we do is that we do the sit in this body upright, and then start doing the meditation. So unconsciously, unintentionally, unconsciously, you start to stiffen your body like this, right? And if you're unaware of this, if you don't rectify this, if it happens for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days, you'll start having body ache, right? So therefore, make sure that your body is flexible. And then once you're aware of this for some time, for like a few weeks, then it becomes habit. You don't have to keep an eye on your body. Automatically, it'll be in a relaxed form. Okay. Then the head tilted forward a little bit, head tilted forward. Then the next one, which is so important, is the eyes should not be closed. Don't close the eyes. There are meditations when you go through they say, for somebody who is expert in meditation, then you may come across some meditation techniques where you have to keep your eyes closed, where you have to keep all the windows closed, everything so dark. Yes, there are some meditations like that. This is something not really meant for us at this moment. Right? We can become more sophisticated later on. Okay, for the time being, we have to learn how to do meditation with the eyes open, which is very difficult. Very difficult. But once you adopt this, then you can see the difference between the two meditations with eyes closed and eyes open. Okay, the next is the lips and the teeth. Keep them in their natural course. The lips and the teeth, keep them in their natural course. And your right hand, place on your left hand, at the tips of two thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the two hands on your laps in a restful state. You getting it? Okay, this is very important. Right hand on your left hand, tips of two thumbs joining, at the two thumbs standing, forming a triangle. Place the two hands on your laps in a restful state. Okay, and meanwhile, breathe naturally. Never impose on your breath, except for some meditations where you have to control the breath, hold your breath. Except for those meditations, the rest of meditations always let your breath flow naturally. You getting it? Okay. Then this is your body posture, number one. What is number two? What is number two? Focal point. What are you going to meditate on? This is number two. There are so many versions of focal points. What we're going to do is a simple one, yet very effective. The focal point, you just visualize a very tiny spot, a tiny white spot, white nectar-like spot, white, 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter between the nose and the upper lip. You just visualize a tiny dot. While you visualize your tiny dot there, multitasking, meaning the visualization plus counting the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1, breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2, counting the breaths while you visualize the tiny dot. These two things happen together. Okay, this is a focal point. Number 3. What's number 3? Identify the errors of meditation, right? Okay. Errors, there are two. Okay, this is so important. This is for both of us, both groups who meditate regularly and who they have no idea, who beginner to meditate. In both cases, the point number 3 and point number 4, these two are very important. Point number 3 is identify the errors of meditation. What are the potential errors that can happen when you're meditating? Two errors. One is mental excitement, and the other one is mental laxity. Mental excitement and mental laxity. Mental excitement is the overactivity of the mind. Overactivity of the mind, that the mind gets distracted, here and there, and while you're meditating, your mind may be, thinking about the deadlines. Your mind be going to the shopping malls. So this is the mental distraction. This is known as the mental excitement. Technically, it's known as mental excitement. And then the opposite of that is mental laxity. Laxity, L-A-X-I-T-Y. Mental laxity meaning that heaviness of the mind, lethargic, then the mind becomes inserviceable, the mind becomes a little dull. Okay, this is the second problem. At times, you are very tired after your work. Okay, now I went to Serije Monastery Center, and then the teacher asks us to meditate. Okay, I'll do a meditation. Okay, you're very tired already, right? After your work, right? Then you sit down, and then you said, okay, your body starts to feel the relaxing, right? Relaxing and half sleep, half meditation, right? And then, oh no, I should think of the point number 3. Identify errors of meditation, mental laxity. Okay, now mental laxity. What should I do now? Right? Okay, I should keep myself active. No, it's so pleasant to be in this position. Right? This can happen. So therefore, when mental laxity happens, the point is that don't remain in that state for long. Don't remain in it. The moment you identify this, you must go for number 4. What is number 4? Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Applying the remedies. Okay, the remedies 2. Introspection and mindfulness. Introspection and mindfulness. Imagine, okay, oftentimes people speak about mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is very popular. It's very good. But then, oftentimes people tend to mix up the two things, mindfulness and the introspection. We have to tease apart the nuances of what introspection is and what mindfulness is. First comes the introspection. When your mind say if you have a pet dog, and if you lost a pet dog, what do? First you go in search of the pet dog. That is introspection. Your mind meditating, the mind which is meditating, this mind is like the pet dog. So this mind, instead of sitting on the focal point, it runs away. It gets distracted, it starts to sleep. That happens. When that is happening, you have lost the dog. When you lost the dog, first go in search of the dog. Likewise, you go in search of what your mind is doing, keeping an eye on your mind to see whether your mind is meditating, or is it already distracted, or it is already in a relaxed state. So that you would examine. Once you see that your mind is distracted or in a relaxed state, oh no, now my meditation is gone, right? Don't freak. No need to freak. Just remain calm. Because that our mind is prone to excitement and laxity, so therefore we need training, we need practice. If you're already expert, if you're already controlled, no excitement, no laxity, the mind is very controlled, why do we have to meditate? Why do we have to practice meditation? No need. Okay, so there what we should be doing is then go for the remedies. Remedies twofold. Introspection, mindfulness, and introspection, as I said earlier, is keep an eye on your own mind to see whether your mind is into excitement or laxity. Should you see that your mind is distracted or in a relaxed state, then you apply the mindfulness. Only then the mindfulness. What is mindfulness? It is like the rope. Once you see the dog, then what do? Tie the dog with the rope and bring it back home and tie it to the pillar at home. Likewise, finding the dog, finding that your mind is distracted, then the job with the introspection is done. Next, the job of mindfulness. Bring the mind with the rope-like mindfulness, bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Okay, this is mindfulness. which you got. So now I'm pretty sure that some of you are, say, in meditation for as the extended period of time. So for those of you, I would say that there are very specific remedies as well. Specific remedies. Say if your mind is prone to excitement, prone to scattering, what should we be doing? So there, the advice given is that if you're doing the dot, you can visualize the dot instead of high up there. You visualize the same dot at your navel. The same dot at the navel. Right? Same dot. And the dot you visualize is very heavy. Right? If you think, what is the tendency? Let's say for example, there are two people, there are two persons, and to person A, you talk a very serious discussion, serious talks, very depressing talks. To the other person, very light talks. Which of the two person you think will go into sleep? First one or second one? First one. You getting it? So if you imagine this focal point very heavy and right there below, not up, below the navel, then your mind tends to, instead of distracting, it tends to go down. So distraction will be overcome. Right? One. Now to overcome the laxity, the heaviness of mind, you are advised to visualize the dot right at a higher point. And if it is visualizing the dot between your nose and the upper lip, if you see that this is not good enough, then you can raise it up to your eyebrow. You can visualize it up there, go higher. And then you visualize the dot as blazing, glowing, blazing with incredible light, the beaming forth. Right? So with this, the light, your mind will be elated. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Ready? 5 minutes. Okay. As we recited the mantra, Heart Sutra mantra, Tiyatha Om Gade Gade Paragade Parasam Gade Bore Swaha. So this mantra, if you know the meaning fully and then recite it on a daily basis, the benefit that you will get is going to be innumerable times more than reciting the same mantra without knowing the meaning. To know the meaning, it is quite condensed. In the first place, Heart Sutra itself is a very sophisticated subject where the Buddha Shakyamuni presided over the gathering in the vulture's peak, and Aravalokteshvara, and of course the Buddha Shakyamuni absorbed into the non-dual wisdom of emptiness, non-dual. And then Aravalokteshvara, on the one hand, was also just dwelling in the reflection on emptiness, ultimate reality, and Shariputra on the other side was presiding there. Then the Buddha Shakyamuni, through his power of the omniscience, he blessed Shariputra to ask question to Aravalokteshvara. So through this blessing, Shariputra then stood up, made prostration to Buddha Shakyamuni, and then turned towards Aravalokteshvara, asking, how should child of a lineage train in the practice of the professional wisdom? So this is a very serious question. How should a child of the lineage to the practice the professional wisdom? So what is meant by child of the lineage? 1. And the professional wisdom, number 2. Child of the lineage, same in the olden times, during the 500 years ago, 1000 years ago, the kings, the kingdoms, empires, the kings and the king's son, the son is considered as very important, and even the brightest of the ministers, they have to respect this young son of the prince, of the king, the prince. So why this prince, this son is so important? Because he's going to become the king later on. He is the holder of the lineage. Likewise, here when Shariputra was asking Aravalokteshvara as to how should the child of a lineage, what is this lineage? And who are the children of the lineage? This question. The lineage of the Buddhahood. Lineage of the Buddhahood. Well, let us say, which lineage is more important? Lineage of a king or the lineage of Buddhahood? Which is more important? No doubt, no comparison. Lineage of the perfection, lineage of the Enlightenment, lineage of the Buddha is the supreme. Okay. Now, even if we are not the prince or the princess, don't worry. We still can be the lineage holder of the best lineage. Each one of us, we can become the son or the daughter of the lineage. Right? How? Lineage is what? That you have a goal which you intend to achieve. Likewise, the lineage of the Buddhahood is something when the goal is the Buddhahood and you seek to achieve that, automatically you become the lineage holder. You become the daughter of the lineage, you become the son of the lineage. Right? Okay, anybody who genuinely aspires to become Buddha for the benefit of all human sentient beings, automatically you become the lineage holder of the Buddhahood. You become the daughter or the son of the lineage. Okay. Now the point is that being a lineage holder, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear sentient beings. When we make this commitment, when we make this the very precious commitment, the next question is, what did they say? May I become Buddha for the benefit of all dear sentient beings. Am I Buddha now? No. So what could be next question? How can you become Buddha? This next question. How can you become Buddha? You getting it? How can you become Buddha? For that matter, the thing is, yes, Buddhahood is within me. The seed of perfection is within me. The diamond is within me. The only thing is it's not visible. You have to make the diamond inside the Buddhahood, diamond in the Buddhahood, become visible. How to make it visible? Just remove the metal dirt. Say the diamond which is covered, enveloped by the dirt, the filth, the grease and so forth. The diamond is not visible. How should you make it visible? Just remove the dirt, clean the diamond, but remove the diamond inside becomes visible. Likewise, the Buddha nature inside, in order for you to make it visible, as per your commitment, may I become Buddha for the benefit of all human sentient beings. So you have to get into the metal stains. And metal stains, somehow they are rooted to ignorance. We learned that already, ignorance. And the ignorance can be eradicated by the wisdom, right? By the wisdom. So wisdom has to be introduced. So this wisdom, how should the child of a lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? You getting it? How should the child of the lineage, somebody who aspires to become Buddha, should practice the wisdom of emptiness so that the mental defilements can be eradicated fully and the Buddhahood will become the manifest. So this is the indication. So there, then, how to manifest it, how to practice wisdom and emptiness, that should be practiced in 5 steps. Gate, 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 paragate, parasamgate, bodhi, swaha. 5 steps, right? Okay. This, if you are successful, then this is what is gate, gate. Go beyond, go utterly beyond, and establish your enlightenment. Go, gate, gate, go, paragate, go beyond, parasangate, go utterly beyond, bodhi swaha, establish your enlightenment. This is the meaning. Right? So the point is how to go. It's not external journey. Go connotes the journey. It's not external journey, it's internal journey. Journey of cleansing the mind to discover the internal treasure of Buddhahood within. So this is the point. So for that matter, I think it would be helpful. I can see that there are many of you who are already into the studies. So today, we can explain a little bit about what these 5 points are. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhiswaha. Before we go into delving the what constitutes the ultimate reality. First, the gate. So these 5 points, they are referred to as the 5 paths. 5 paths. PATHS. 5 paths. The first one, path of accumulation. Number 2 is path of preparation. Number 3 is path of seeing. Number 4 is path of meditation. Number 5 is path of no more learning. Let me repeat this. Path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, path of meditation, and path of no more learning. Right? Okay. So these 5 paths. Anybody Okay, by the way, how many of you are already in the first part? If not in the first part, then the first person maybe is the second part then. Okay. So what I usually say is, if somebody's already gone through this first and second part, the person will not come here to this class. Right? Because I myself yet to climb this path. Okay, it's through practice that we will reach there. So the point is, the first part known as the path of accumulation. Right? To understand this, what is required is that if you want to take a journey, imagine, go back in time, say like 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, when there's no, let's say, the cars, flights, trains, nothing of these things exist. If, for example, say the Xuanzang, how do you pronounce it? Xuanzang, right? The Chinese great Bodhisattva scholar practitioner, right? Xuanzang. He traveled from China to India. So they no flight, no train, no cars like this, right? So for this to make such a audacious journey, one should be well prepared. Do you agree with me? One should be well prepared. Whatever you have to say, the food, and then the basic sustenance, all must be gathered first. So the first part is known as part of accumulation. You have to accumulate the basic necessities required for achieving Buddhahood. Right? Basic necessities you have to accumulate. What are the basic necessities to achieve Buddhahood? Buddhahood is characterized by three qualities. Don't think of the Buddha Shakyamuni. Each one of us, right? We can become Buddhas. Right? Each one of us we can become Buddhas. And for that matter, when you become Buddha, each one of us, when we become Buddha, what are you going to be like? Is that you are going to be perfected in three qualities: perfect love, perfect knowledge, and perfect power. Right? So with the perfection of love and knowledge, perfect power automatically comes to you. Right? So in short, we can say perfect love and perfect knowledge. These are two things that we need to achieve perfection when you become Buddha. Okay, now what are the things that you should gather? What are the things that you should accumulate as the basic necessities for undertaking this journey of enlightenment? 2. Accumulation of the love and affection, and accumulation of wisdom. So the wisdom, we call it accumulation of wisdom as it is. For the love and affection, we call it the accumulation of the merit. Merit is the energy. For example, let's say you have a car. By the way, how many of you drive car? Raise your hands. Oh no, nobody who drives car? No? Everybody drives car, right? Even if you may not be driving car, you have seen people driving car. Right? So imagine that your car, the steering, and the wheels, they are not connected. If they're not connected, it's a disaster. Right? You drive and you say you're turning, it can go the other way. Right? So therefore, the steering to give you the direction. You agree with me? The steering will give you the direction. Okay, steering must be so good and so well connected with the wheels. Okay, steering must be good. Steering is for what purpose? For the direction. And then you have a car with the amazing steering, right? But the fuel is zero. If fuel is zero, again, however much you may turn, the car will not move at all. So the point is that we need to have a very good steering plus enough fuel, right? So the steering is the wisdom. The wisdom will give you the direction. Accumulation of wisdom. And number 2 is the fuel. The fuel is the energy. What gives you the energy is not just the knowledge. For example, say I'll give you two examples. One person who is so knowledgeable about how to build a house but very lazy. Right? And the person doesn't have a proper house to live in. Right? But very lazy and knows exactly what should be the house, should be the roof, what should be the ceiling like, what should be the walls, everything the person does so well, so artistic, so much into aesthetics and architecture, yet very lazy. And the other person, right, so enthusiastic to build a house and so forth, may not have this intelligence. Number 4, somebody who is very intelligent plus so much of enthusiasm. Right? Why the first person is not having the house? He knows how to make a house. He doesn't have to pay the architects. He doesn't have to pay the civil engineers. He can do everything himself. Why is he not still he's not in a house? Why? Why not? Because he doesn't have the energy or the enthusiasm to do it. So, may I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, right? This is enthusiasm or what? Tremendous energy. Not only working for yourself, but working for all beings. This is incredible energy. So, the bodhicitta, compassion, and so forth, these fall in the category of what is technically known as the merit. So, when you become Buddha, the wisdom must be full, perfect, and the energy must be perfect. So the energy and the wisdom to drive you to give you the direction, and the energy to give you the force to move. You getting it? These two combined together will take you to undertake the journey. Let you make happen this journey towards enlightenment. Okay. So for that matter, the first path is known as what? Path of accumulation, meaning that to undertake this journey, you must accumulate the basic necessities for the journey. What are the basic necessities for the journey? Accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. These two must be gathered as much. So during that process, you are known as the path of accumulation. Okay, what's the second part? Part of preparation. Okay, part of preparation we will do a little later. What is the third part? Part of seeing. Okay, good. Now this journey, if you agree with me, this journey is the journey of cleansing the mind. You agree with me? The journey of cleansing the mind. You don't have to do anything. Just cleanse your mind. You keep your mind, remove the mental defilements. That is your job. Buddhahood is inside. Gold, when mixed with the soil in the form of gold ore, you extract gold from the gold mine, you get ore, gold ore. Gold ore is nothing but a gold mixed with soil. You don't see the gold glowing there. And in the eyes of ordinary people like us, we don't see gold glowing there, we just see soil there. It's like ordinary soil. We may dump this. But in the eyes of the gold experts, this is not ordinary soil. There's gold there. And how does the gold expert prove that there's gold there? How does he or she do? By no idea. By washing, removing the dirt, removing the soil, then the gold will be left behind. As the soil is removed more, the gold inside will start to glow more. You agree with me? Good, okay. So which means that it is your job is don't look for gold outside. The gold is already there within the gold ore. So simply remove the soil and the gold inside will start to glow. Likewise, remove your metal stains, remove your metal defilements, and the Buddhahood inside will start to glow. This is the idea. So this meaning of Gati Parasamgati Bodhi Swaha. Now, the point is to remove the metal dirts. To remove the metal dirts, there are two ways of doing it. To remove the metal dirts, there are two ways of doing it. Okay, right? Say right below where we climb up, or the lift. Before we enter the lift, so around there, there are garbage thrown there. So this garbage are like metal stains. You have to remove the garbage. And to remove the garbage, why should you remove the garbage? So that the place looks clean, right? And there are two ways of removing the garbage. Some of you may be very innocent. You may not be aware how to remove the garbage. There are two ways. One is the easy way, and the other one is a very difficult one. Difficult one is the traditional way. Put all the garbage in the bin, then send the bin away, right? This is one way of removing it. Another way is, don't do anything. Just cover the garbage with the cloth. Cover the garbage with the cloth and put some flowers on the, put some flowers, right? Cover the garbage with the cloth and put some flowers on it, right? It looks aesthetically so beautiful. Actually, there's garbage inside, right? And the purpose of remove the garbage is done. Why do we remove the garbage? So that the place looks clean. Now it looks so clean and splendid. There's flowers there, right? Okay, so this way of removing the garbage is known as suppressing the garbage or subduing the garbage. Garbage is not removed, right? It's simply it's simply what I call a hit, or it's a covered. It simply covered the garbage and it's not visible. Okay, this is one way. This is known as the subduing or suppressing the garbage, suppressing the mental defilements. Other one is uprooting the mental defilements. 2. Okay, so till you reach the third path. What is the third path? Path of seeing. Tonglam. In Tibetan we call it Tonglam. Till you reach the third path, path of seeing, right? All the practice of purification that we do, all practices of purification that we do, all practices of purification that we do, it is like covering the garbage with a cloth and putting flowers up there, right? Okay, so the real purification happens. The real purification happens only when you reach the path of seeing. The real uprooting of the garbage, uprooting of the mental defilements happen only when you reach the path of seeing. How? This could be a question. How? Path of seeing. Or tell me, what is the final version of this garbage, the mental defilements? From what we have learned from the starting of this class, what is the mental defilement is nothing but what? The dirt in the form of what? Ignorance. You remember? Ignorance. Okay. To remove the ignorance, you have to resort to the light of the wisdom. You agree with me? Light of the wisdom. So the wisdom must be introduced. What is wisdom? Okay. What is wisdom? Wisdom is a discerning mind. Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. You getting it? Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with reality. Okay. Now, let us say that, here on the table, but let's say I'm blindfolded, and then I ask you, what is on my table? Is there a snake on my table? What is the answer? There's no snake. Don't be afraid. There's no snake. Okay. Now, okay. Let's say. Okay. Let's say. Okay. Okay, let's say Marcus. Marcus says, Geshe, don't worry, there's no snake, right? There's no snake on the table. Okay, I'm blindfolded. So, what will I feel? Okay, there's no snake on the table. Is this wisdom or this is ignorance? Hey, tell me. Marcus told me that, Geshe, don't worry, there's no snake on the table, right? Then I think, okay, there's no snake on the table. So this thought that I have now, I'm blindfolded, this thought that I have now, there's no snake on the table, is this ignorance or wisdom? Ignorance. Is there snake or not? On the table, is there snake? There's no snake, which means the reality and my thinking tallies or not tally? Tally means ignorance or wisdom? Wisdom, don't say ignorance. People say, okay. the poor guys, who came there in the Celestial Monastery center, right? Somebody who taught that the wisdom is ignorance. At least don't leave this house, don't leave this hall until you're able to say that there's no saying on the table, this is wisdom. Only if you're able to say this, you can leave. Otherwise, don't leave, right? People ask, who taught you this? And you will say, Geshe Dorji Damdul, right? Right? Then, okay, now, Geshe Dorji Damdul, don't go to his class. He will teach you terrible things. Okay, so basically this is wisdom, right? I'm blindfolded, there's no snake on the table. I think this way, and you say, that's correct. Okay, now Jimbala comes, right? Okay, Jimbala comes. Hey, Geshe, what are you doing? There's a snake there on the table, right? Okay, tell me. I'm still blindfolded. What would be my reaction? I will be in confusion. You're getting it? Okay, the earlier Marcus said that there is no snake there. And Jimbala is saying that, hey, Geshe, what are you doing? There's a snake on the table, right? I'm confusion. And now, if I trust Jimbala more, then, what I earlier thought was wrong. There's a snake on the table. You getting it? There's a snake on the table. So this thought is what? This thought is wisdom or ignorance? Okay, this is ignorance. Yet I can fluctuate between the two things. Wisdom, ignorance. When will my wisdom not be fluctuated? Tell me. When I remove the blindfold, I see this, okay, there's no snake there. Now, even if hundreds and thousands of people come and tell me there's a snake there, nobody can budge an inch, right? I can just say there's no snake, 100% guaranteed. This is why I'm having this confidence, because I could see things directly. What is third path? Path of seeing, right? You see the reality directly. When you see the reality directly, ignorance cannot influence you, cannot deviate you, cannot affect you. Whereas when you're blindfolded, the ignorance can easily affect you. You're getting it? So the path of seeing is the direct opposition. The non-dual wisdom of emptiness, or the direct realization of emptiness, is the direct opposition of the ignorance. Only if you have the direct realization of emptiness, that will counteract, that will uproot the ignorance, that will uproot the mental defilements. You're getting it? Okay, so path of seeing. Only when you reach path of seeing, then what happens is that your defilements inside, they are not only, they don't remain just covered under nice cloth and put flowers on it. So they actually started to be uprooted. You getting it? Okay. Let's say that how many of you know about tuberculosis? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, most of you know what tuberculosis is. It's an illness because of bacteria. Right? Some bacilli, I don't remember that now. It's a bacteria-caused illness, tuberculosis. Same, if I'm suffering from tuberculosis, how important is it for me to stay clean? Then I'll say the food taken on time and having a proper sleep. How important are these things? Tell me. Very important. They are very important. Okay, if they are important, I keep doing that like this, but I don't go to hospital, I don't meet the doctor, I don't take the medication. I still take care of my health in ways of eating food on time, sleeping on time, and resting well. Do you think that tuberculosis will be over? No. You're getting it? No. For tuberculosis to be over, we need the real medicine. We need the real medicine. Do you know what medicines? Hey, do you know what medicines? What are the medicines? What medicines? No clue. Rifampicin. Isoniazid. Then ethambutol. Okay, these 3 medicines are required. You're getting it? These 3 medicines are required. Okay. Once you get these medicines, then you are sure that the tuberculosis illness will be uprooted. Uprooted. You getting it? And by taking utmost care, without taking the medicines, by eating food on time, sleeping on time, resting well, and so forth, they will not let the tuberculosis go worse. So it's like covering the dirt with a cloth and putting some nice flowers on it. But the bacteria is still intact inside. Okay. Now, when you see emptiness directly, it is like getting the medicines. Ethambutol, isoniazid, rifampicin. You get these medicines. With these medicines, then what happened? That the illness is being uprooted. You're getting it? Direct realization of the emptiness, the wisdom which directly realizes emptiness is the actual medicine to overcome the ignorance. Right? When do you get this wisdom? When do you get the wisdom which realizes emptiness directly? Which path? Path of seeing. Right? So only when you reach the path of seeing, then you start to uproot the metal stains. That is the real healing, the real cleansing of the mind happening. Before that, whatever practice that we do to remove our mental defilements, they subdue the mental defilements. They don't remove the mental defilements altogether. They only subdue. You're getting it? Okay. With this path of seeing. So the real medicine is a path of seeing. Real medicine part of seeing. Now what is second part? Part of preparation. Okay, part of preparation is why I skipped this earlier was because once you know what the path of seeing is, the real medicine, what prepares you to get the real medicine, that path is known as path of preparation. So the second path is preparing you to get the real medicine of the path of seeing. So the second path is part of preparation, meaning preparing you to realize emptiness directly. Number 2. Okay, tell me, what is number 4? Part of meditation. Part of meditation. What is part of meditation? This question, right? Okay, let's see that. Say that I got the medicines now. I got the tuberculosis medicines now, and then my doctor tells me that, okay, these are the medicines. You take this medicine, and your problem will be over. Okay. The next day, I take the first dose. I take the medicine. Day 1. Now I took the medicine, and day 2, right? I still have the problem. I'm not healed. And the doctor said, if you take the medicines, my problem will be over. I took the medicine, right? But the problem is not over. Hey, tell me, what's the problem? Huh? I need time, but I took the medicine. The doctor told me that if you take the medicine, your problem will be over. And I took it. I took for 1 day. Huh? Then how long should it take?
2 weeks at least.
Okay. At the moment, we should take for 6 months. 6 months, right? Maybe in Singapore it's 2 weeks. In India, it still is
2 weeks. Take 6 months, but 2 weeks it won't be. I mean, the infection is not.
2 weeks is still it can be very effective, the active. Then after 2 weeks, it'll come down. Good, not infection. Okay, now the point is that this medicine, when you say that you take the medicines and your problem will be over, doesn't mean that you take the medicine for 1 day and your problem will be over. This is not a connotation. The connotation is that you have to take the medicine for 6 months. 6 months, right? Okay, it's very boring, right? To take the same medicine every day, right? Every day. Okay. If you are if you're a member of the Monastery Center, and then Geshe says that, okay, as a ritual, Every day you have to come and just they pat this table, and then you go. Every day you come, pat the table. It's so boring, right? So like this, take the medicine every day. It's the same medicine every day. It's so boring. No, it's not boring. This is very important. This consistent application of this is so important, right? This consistency in the application of this medicine, taking this medicine, is known as practice or the meditation. Meditation is habituation. You're getting it? Habituation in a virtuous practice. So the path number 4 is known as path of meditation, meaning what you've seen earlier should be practiced over and over and over again, so that the mental defilements will be gone rid of by the stages. Okay, path of meditation. If you do it consistently over extended period of time, then what happens? Your mental defilements are gone rid of. Step 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and finally the subtlest of the mental defilements will be gone rid of. Once that is gone rid of, then you will reach the path of number 5. What is number 5? Path number 5? Path of no more learning. So why it is known as no more learning is that when you reach that point, you have already accomplished your goal. Once you accomplish that goal, it is like once you become a professor, right? You don't have to again profess in English. You don't have to learn A, B, C, D once more, right? It's no more learning stage. So once you reach the goal of enlightenment, then you don't have to practice with mindfulness anymore, right? This is known as a path of no more learning. Okay, this is the basic, the structure, and why I did this part is particularly for those people who, I see many faces who took part in the Bodhicitta retreat last year and this year as well, and from the first year as well, right? From the first year, last year Jambi, this year the Chanting. So for them, I'm sharing this. Meanwhile, others who do not take part in the practice, for you also it's very important to know this, right? The next question. Okay, if this is what we've learned thus far, the 5 paths, now what could be the next question? Not just any other question, not just any question that comes to mind, related to what we have done. If this is the structure, then we have to keep going. So what could be your next phase? So that should come in the form of question. Anyone? Anyone?
To go beyond.
Huh?
To go beyond.
Okay, now the next is, so if this is the path, we have to start from somewhere, right? Start from somewhere. So the first one is that you have to be enrolled there, the first gade. First you have to get into the first gade. How to get there, the first gade, right? That is the aspiration. May I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. When this aspiration becomes very genuine, spontaneous, you already got into the first gade. So this we will do as a part of the second session. Right? Now, once you get there, what should we be doing? Once you are into the gade, what should we be doing? This is the next question. Is how should the child of a lineage train in the wisdom of perfection of wisdom, right? So now, when you say, may I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, what does it mean? What does it mean by that? That Buddhahood inside must come out. How to make it come out? By removing the dirt. How to remove the dirt? By applying the wisdom. You getting it? So we have to know what the wisdom is. Okay, for that matter, this mantra, Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava. How many of you have this mantra? Okay, just raise your hands. Okay, those who already know this mantra by heart, one, and those who have the mantra, even though you may not have it by heart, but who have it on your mobiles, iPad, whatever. You raise your hands. Okay, raise your hands. Those who do not have, say, those who did not hear about this mantra thus far. Raise your hands. Okay, so this mantra is very important. Those of you who know about it, you know what it is. But those who do not know this mantra is so precious. So what I would say is that you try to get it from somewhere, right? Okay, we have, say, the Kim here, right? Kim, raise your hands. Okay, just raise your hands. Those who were from the recent retreat. Okay, those of who do not have this idea of this mantra, catch hold of one of these persons. Yeah. Sawi, raise your hand. Yes, Kim, Sunamla. Okay, raise your hands. Those who attended. Yes, yes, and also from last year. Yes. Okay, so the point is this mantra is very, very important. So it's not just you, me also. We can go through a very low phase of our life. Very low phase of our life. You getting it? Meaning that we can go through very tragic situations, very difficult times, illnesses. We can say the people who you're near and dear ones, the loss of near and dear ones, and the illness of your friends, your say the family members. These things are bound to happen to anyone, right? It can happen to me also. So the point is, when these things do happen, then remember this mantra. It doesn't mean that this mantra will do a miracle. Don't expect that this mantra will do a miracle. But this mantra, the Buddha said, is so precious. You say this mantra, and if possible, knowing the meaning of this mantra, this will greatly help to mitigate the effects of the problems, right? And then in long run, it'll help you to get rid of all your problems. In the long run, it will help you to get rid of all the problems, and immediately it will mitigate the problems, the effect of the problems. Okay, this mantra is so precious. I'm going to say I'm going to give the explanation of this a little bit, and then if you can recite this mantra on a daily basis, and then when you come across situations of difficulties, challenges, you can recite this mantra, reflect on the meanings, and then send this in the form of blessings to the people who are going through difficulties. Recite it yourself, and when you're going through difficulties, you recite the mantra and see that your problems are, visualize that your problems are going to be resolved. And then, so with others, your friends and so forth who are going through difficulties, you send this mantra in the form of blessings to them, right? And then, if your friend or the people around, they are receptive to this mantra, you can teach this mantra to the person, right? And if possible, explain the meaning, let the person recite it. So that way, this is so important. And of course, there's a benefit. The immediate benefit is there. And the person, even though the person recites this mantra just for the sake of this immediate problem, not necessarily for enlightenment, but automatically the person will be connected with the enlightenment. For the enlightenment. So therefore, this is so precious. Okay. So the meaning of the mantra, Om Ye Dharma. So this Om, in some mantras, in some version, we don't see this Om. In some version, there is. Don't worry. Be with it. Without it, it doesn't matter. Right? If you want to add it, Om. Om is constituted of three letters. The syllable Om is constituted of three letters. A, U, Ma. A, U, Ma, three letters. And these three letters, in general, wherever you find the syllable Om, this you can interpret it in this form. This Om, whether in the Sanskrit, whether in Tibetan Buddhism, whether in the Chinese Buddhism, whether in Theravada Buddhism, even in Hinduism, Jainism, whenever you find the syllable Om, you can interpret it in this way, right? Om is constituted of three letters: A, U, Ma. A, U, Ma, and A symbolizes body. U symbolizes speech. Ma symbolizes your mind. And A, U, Ma, they symbolize not only the body, speech, mind of yours, also symbolize the body, speech, mind of the enlightened beings. In other words, you, when you're the ordinary being, the body, speech, and mind of you when you're ordinary being. Body, speech, mind of you when you become enlightened. It symbolizes both. So as you recite this Om, this should be a reminder for you that I should transform this body that I have, defiled body that I have, into the very pure body. I should transform this speech, defiled speech, into the very pure speech. And the defiled mind into the very pure mind. Right? Okay. So say our body is so weak. It has so many limitations. Right? It has so many defects. Do you agree with me? This body, okay, one very favorite example that I give is, for example, my hand. Right? I remember when I was 7 years old, right? My hand looked so cute. So now it's not like that. Right? Okay. So this body, there's this tendency to become from something which is so nice, it has tendency to become the very defective and something so weird. So this body, and then all these problems, sickness, aging, death, they're all related to the body. Hunger, thirst, pain, all associated with this body. You agree with me? This body is the basis of all our problems. Yet, if you become enlightened, your defective body will be transformed into the enlightened body, where it is freed of all these defects. One. And the speech, how we speak. When we speak, right, it's terrible. You agree with me? Right? It can create so much a problem in others and yourself. For example, 2 person comes, right? Say two who attended recent retreat comes, and you know them. And then let's say person A and person B, and you meet them, and you look at person A. Person B also attended retreat. Person A also attended retreat. And you say, person A, wow, you have benefited so much from the retreat. It's amazing, wonderful. You are the one who got the maximum benefit from the retreat, indicating that person B did not receive the benefit. Right? You do not say this, but simply by you being overwhelmed, right? You've been amazing. So your speech does not have the skillfulness. This speech, and this is a nice part. At times you can speak so nasty, right? You can just bully your parents. Your parents say, my daughter, you like a cup of tea. What cup of tea? Right? You become so angry coming from your job. Actually, your boss made you angry. You cannot show the anger back to your boss. Now you're showing the anger towards your mother. That poor mother suffers. So this is because of the speech. So look, our speech is not at all, say, the nice. It's very defiled. Okay. So this speech, when you become enlightened, this speech will be transformed into so pleasant. Anybody hears your voice. You feel the same. Some people, depending on what capability the person has reached, right? Some people can reap the benefit of what you say. Whatever you say, the person will hear emptiness. The person will hear about bodhicitta, like this. And even if the person does not have that capacity to know these things, but the words, right? You utter a word, this word, just hearing, it is so ease. It gives such ease to the person's mind. It's so healing, right? Person is very stressed. The moment you hear this sound, your voice, the person feels so healed, right? Okay, this is a speech. And find the mind. Our mind is very, very what? Defiled, right? Okay, very defiled. Okay, I don't want to elaborate on this, right? The mind. So this mind will transform. When you become enlightened, your mind will be transformed into a very pure mind, full of compassion, exuding with wisdom. exuding with skillfulness, is exuding with power. Right? And this is what you're going to become when you become enlightened. So this is the meaning of Om. So with this mind, we should be aware that, okay, henceforth, from today onwards, yes, I realize that I have this perfect seed of enlightenment within me. I have the treasure within me. I have the diamond of enlightenment within me. I should never, ever underestimate myself. Keep this in mind. Don't forget it. I shall never, ever underestimate myself. Right? Sometimes we hate ourselves, self-hate, right? And then we talk very badly about ourselves. I'm just a hopeless person. I'm like this. Never ever say this. Even out of joke, never ever say this. Nobody can, again, I'm reiterating this here. Nobody can fail you. It's only you who can fail you. Nobody can fail you. People can subjugate your body. They cannot subjugate your mind. But you can subjugate your mind. You can create real failure in you. How? By underestimating yourself. By underestimating yourself. Right? So therefore, never ever have a self-hate. Remember that we all have this incredibly precious Buddha nature within us. Incredibly precious seed of enlightenment within us. The treasure within us. Diamond within us. Say, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the Buddha Shakyamuni, and all these enlightened beings, why they are so special is because what made them so special is actually within us. But why we are not special is because that is hidden. That is hidden by the mental defilements. Remove the mental defilements, you are as important as all these enlightened beings here. You getting it? This is a fact. This is not just the flattery. This is not just the fabrication. This is a fact. We all have this capacity. We all have this treasure. Okay. Now, with this, never ever have a sense of self-hate. You getting it? This is so bad. If you really want to hate someone, hate the mental defilements. Right? Defilements which obscure this beautiful treasure. Hate the defilements. How to hate it? Remove the defilements. Right? If you don't like an enemy, remove the enemy. Right? The best way is remove the enemy. Likewise, remove these mental defilements. These are your enemies. The treasure inside is so precious. And you are very precious. Because when the defilements are gone, you still left. You getting it? And you become the enlightened one. You become the person to benefit all beings. If that person who has the capacity to benefit all beings is not precious, who is precious then? Right? So therefore, you are so precious, never ever have self-hate. This is so important. And should you encounter with other people, say for example, there are times when we all go through difficulties. Under such situation, difficulty is one thing. Another one is that you say, oh no, I'm the worst person in the world, I'm the most hopeless person in the world. When you say like this, you are adding to the weight of the difficulties. Right? If it is, say, 40% difficulty, the 40% weight of the difficulty with you, don't make it 60% unnecessarily. Keep it 40%. Right? Don't make it 60%. 60%, 40% is lighter. Why should you have to add it? You say the 40% heavy and you're making it even heavier. Right? Be wise. Okay. With this in mind, that the next question is, wow, it's amazing. If this is the potential that I have, the Buddha nature within me, which is as precious as all the enlightened beings now, how can I make it come out? By removing the mental dirt. Okay, for that matter, Om, finish. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. Okay. Those of you who have it, look at it, and those who don't have it, just listen to me. That is fine. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. Ye dharma hetu prabhava. Ye dharma, these phenomena. Hetu, cause, prabhava, arise. These phenomena arise from causes. These phenomena arise from causes. Meaning, the miseries that we go through, the pains that we go through, they all arise by dependence on the causes. Ye dharma, hetu prabhava. Hetum teshan tathagato. What are the causes of what are these causes? if these miseries that I'm going through are caused by if they arise by dependence of causes, what are these causes? What are these causes, right? Okay, in fact, yesterday we had the 2 sessions. Yesterday I asked this question to the class, and some of you are present there. I asked this question, say, if I'm living on the 3rd floor, and my house is very moisturous, right? It's very humid. So much of the is wet inside, right? And then this is a problem, and I suffer from asthma, arthritis, and so forth. Okay, then I asked, how should we get rid of this problem? How can you help me? I need help. And some people say that leave this room and go for get a better house. Okay. What would be your advice? Anyone? If I have this problem and I seek your advice, what would you say? Don't say that move to another house. This is not so easy. And buy a dehumidifier. It's quite expensive. Quite expensive, right? And sometimes I'm lazy and the dehumidifier doesn't work automatically. And then sometimes it can go wrong. I've called the mechanic, and the mechanic will say, I'll come right now, and he doesn't turn up the next 3 days.
What's the cause of the humidity?
It's because of the dehumidifier.
No, what is the cause of the humidity in the
Okay. So your name? Low. So there's a Sister Low saying that then you check the cause. So this is what who said yesterday? Severin said we have to check the cause. Check the cause. Why this on the 3rd floor, which is not really from natural process, it is not possible. If you're on the ground floor, it's fine. From the ground, water can come up, particularly in the reclaimed land. Singapore reclaimed land, right? Reclaimed land, right? So there, water can come from the sea, is fine. But on the 3rd floor, it's not possible. How come this coming? You have to check what the cause is. Once you identify the cause, that there's a small leakage happening. You buy a glue for 10 cents. 10 cents and stop it, right? You don't have to move your house. You don't have to buy a dehumidifier. Right? And the problem, you don't have to call the mechanics. It's very easy, just stop it. Okay, fix the problem. Therefore, ye dharma hetu prabhava. All phenomena arise from their respective causes. All the miseries that we go through also arise from their respective causes. Hetum tesham tathagato hevatat. Hetum, plural form of the cause, again the cause. Hetum tesham, these. Hetum tesham tathagato. Tathagato meaning the Buddha. Hevatat means said. What these causes are is taught by the Buddha. You're getting it? So what these causes are is because of the moisture, so you have to go to the dehumidifier. It's because of the room, go to the room. No, it's because of the leakage. The Buddha identified the problem very precisely. Buddha helps you to identify the problems very precisely. Okay, he thought there's a problem. The problem is the ignorance. Problem, all the cause of all the problems, say, is like the flower is so visible. Poisonous flower is so visible. These flowers are because of the immediate causes, because of the stems. Because of the stems of the contaminated karmas. These flowers are because of the stems of contamination. Because the flowers can remain suspended with the help of the stems, right? So the stems of contaminated karmas, they give rise to the miseries. And these stems, they stand on the trunk of the plant, right? Trunk of the afflictions. Trunk of afflictions. And the afflictions, the trunk should rest on the root. Afflictions, because of the ignorance as the root. So, look, what are the causes? Miseries are the result, which we don't want. This is caused by the contaminant karmas, the stem of the contaminant karmas. And the stem of the contaminant karmas is because of the trunk of the afflictions. And the afflictions are because of the root of the ignorance. You're getting it? In other words, miseries are the result. Immediate cause of the miseries is contaminant karmas. Contaminant karmas because of the afflictions, and afflictions because of the ignorance. You're getting it? These are the causes. This is what the Buddha taught. This is what the Buddha taught. Then, Hetam Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mashramanesa Desham Chayo meaning these. These meaning these causes referred to earlier. These causes, Desham Chayo Nirodha. Nirodha is the cessation. Bringing an end, cessation, bringing an end to these miseries. Desham chayo nirodha evam. Evam is thus. Evam. Vati is again taught or said. Evam vati. Mahashramana. Maha is the great. Shramana is the saint. How to bring an end to these miseries is also taught by the great saint, the Buddha. You're getting it? Okay. So, from what we have learned thus far, tell me, how to bring an end to the miseries? Miseries, to bring an end to the miseries, we have to bring an end to the causes of the miseries. You're getting it? And tell me, what are the causes? Okay, final cause, right? What is the immediate cause of suffering? Contaminant karmas. What's the contaminant karmas caused by afflictions. Affliction caused by ignorance. Very good. Then what is the final cause of all the miseries? Ignorance. Okay. How to get rid of the ignorance? By cultivating the wisdom. You getting it? By cultivating the wisdom. Okay. So we need to cultivate the wisdom. Right? So this is what the Buddha taught. This wisdom will bring an end to all the miseries, will bring the cessation of all the miseries. Okay, so we will stop here for break. And the second session. Okay, so in fact Okay, so Gisela is saying that, okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Now I become a part of Serache Monastery Center, right? Okay, so it's saying that the break is between 6 and 7 break, and there will be a small, the refreshment food. Instead of you going out for your food will be served here by the Serache Monastery Center for all the participants. Please enjoy your food here. Okay, so we'll come back at 7 sharp.